Hi everybody, it's Kim. Welcome back to my channel. Happy to see you here today. This video is part of a monthly YouTube video hop that is hosted by Brian over at BD Craftsmore. If that's something you think you'd like to join in with, the links will be in the description below. You can reach out to him. The theme this month for March is Monochromatic March, and I've decided that I'm going to feature a press plate that I have for Spellbinders collection this month called Block Zodiac. I have 3 different ones because my 3 boys, and they told us to pick 3, and so I picked the Virgo, Libra, and Cancer, which are my kids, and I'm going to work with the Cancer one today. Now, I started a video already and deleted it. I was trying to hot foil it with the foil of the month, which is Prism this month for March. If you get the press plate of the month, or the press and foil plate actually of the month for Spellbinders, and I am struggling with that. I think my machine is getting old, my die cut machine, and I don't think it has the pressure to make it work. So I decided I'm going to switch gears and just do this as a press plate. So that's where I'm going to go with that. So the nice thing about the press plates is they do have a registration guide, so you can line everything up and have it all look proper on a piece of cardstock. So my monochromatics are going to be the Distress inks in a range of blues. It is a color for Cancer and also my son's favorite color. So blue is what we're going to work with. And let me get my Better Press plate, or my Better Press platform, and we'll go from there. I don't have a camera over where my die cut machine is, so I'm just going to I'm just going to do the line up here. Now, the way I like to do this is I tape down the guide so it doesn't shift on me. So I've just got some low tack tape here. And because this isn't heating, it will be fine. And then I will take the plate and line that up with the guide here. I'm hoping that shows up fairly clear on camera. It should. And then it's got the sentiments as well. So I'm going to use those this first time around as intended with the guide. We don't get fancy packaging as part of the design team, but when you get it, it will be a proper packaging with explanations and color samples, etc., etc. So I'm going to line all of these up on the markers. This is really nice because it does help you center it in your plate. And I've got my my Better Press ink here in black, which is what I'm going to do this with. Now I'm going to just run it through once on just white, just to get a clear impression of what I'm working with. And the other thing that maybe do I shift gears? The other option is also Versamark ink. I like the Versamark because I can heat emboss that. So with these ink pads, it's a kind of a press and swirl to get all the ink on there. Yes, it's moving on me, to get the ink on there correctly. I just use a pokey tool and line it back up so that I'm not disturbing the ink, or at least trying not to. I'm going to use the reverse side of this because it didn't work for me. I do have a video on what I do with all those foils that don't work out, so I can always link that for you if at the end of the video, the what to do with foils that don't work. Actually, the very first video I did was the same thing, called Perfectly, and don't toss out those imperfect pieces, I think is what I called it, and what to do with those things. So let's run this through. I'll be back in one moment. Okay, let's see how that turned out. Fingers crossed. Oh, there we go. That is not bad at all. Not bad at all. Oh, I love what the saying. Oh, that's so nice. Okay, I'm gonna do it one more time with Versamark, because I would like to see if I could heat emboss that in clear. So let's try that one more time. I'm using Hammermill 100-pound cardstock. It usually is very good for foiling, but as I said, I'm struggling right now. Also works great for Better Press. So I'm going to use my VersaFine Black Onyx. It is a pigment ink, so it will stay wet a little bit and allow me to do a clear heat embossing on this. The plates are magnetic, but with the plastic guide on it, it doesn't hold quite as tight. Okay, that is inked up. I'm going to run that through. Oh, that turned out quite good. Oh, I've got a little schmutz over here, but that's okay. I'm not going to powder that part, so maybe we can hide it with some ink blending. So let me go clear emboss this. Okay, that didn't turn out too bad, but I had one more idea while I'm over there doing this. I'm gonna try it on watercolor paper. Because I don't have any of the cotton Better Press paper left, I do use my watercolor paper. I find it works really well. I'm going to try the same thing again with clear embossing powder and see if I can get that to give me a better impression this time. Now that one I did the heat embossing right away so that it wouldn't have a chance to soak in, and it's pretty good. So now I have a couple of ideas. As always, when we're doing this, we are crafting on the fly with Kim. That is just a thing we're doing. Because this is watercolor paper, I'm wondering about doing some distress sprays. That might be kind of fun with that. And then some ink blending here. To me, it looks like, oh, wrong one. That's the one I embossed. That one's just the plain ink. To me, that one is looking a little spotty. I don't know how it's going to ink blend, but let's give it a go. So I use a scrap of paper and ink blend on it. All right, let's see what we're doing here. Some blues. We'll start with the Speckled Egg. And I will use my little positively saturated tool here to hold my ink pad in place. And I think we're gonna go light to dark transition. Let's see what we get. I have no idea how well this is gonna work, but I will speed up through the ink blending. The thing I have learned with ink blending is distress oxides and distress inks do smooth out beautifully and they transition really nicely. I am using rather small brushes here. These are the ones that I have for my distress inks. I do keep separate brushes for inks and oxides from the rest of my stuff just because of the nature of the products. So it's a hodgepodge of brands and brushes. A little bit of all the things here. And you can tap off on paper. I often tap off in the lid because that way if I'm painting and I want to reach for that color, I can just pull it off the lid. So from here on, I will just speed it up and put some music on.
Spellbinders, take me home to the colors, the layers, the glitter and gold, making cards, it makes me whole. It's my therapy.
Okay, that is the 3 colors. So we've got Speckled Egg, Salty Ocean, and Uncharted Mariner. The trick with blending is you want to go over those midlines where they connect more than once so that you get a nice transition. And I'm just going to try and see if the excess will wipe off the embossing. It seems to be okay. Not bad at all. Okay, so I'm going to let that dry and then we'll do the next one. All right, for sprays, I do not have the full range of colors, so we're close. We've got Speckled Egg, Prize Ribbon, and Uncharted Mariner. So they're all still in the blue families. Okay, I don't often do this on camera because I got a little tiny filming spot here and I try not to get stuff everywhere, but we're gonna wing it today. So let's start with our Speckled Egg. This is the spray stain, so it's like the inks where the oxides have the different vibe entirely. Spray in the corner. And I'm gonna try and do the same idea here, color-wise. Ooh, that's intense. Let's see what we got. And then the Uncharted Mariner. Wow, that's color. And they should resist, or the heat embossing should resist the ink. So we'll see how this works. I might want a little more blue at the top. There we go. And I'm gonna take this and dry it with the heat tool. If you're doing that after you've embossed, you wanna keep that heat high so that you're not reactivating the embossing powder. Okay. And there we have 2 panels. This one's still a little tiny bit damp. You can see it on the reverse here. But it certainly softened the colors enough that you can see how very different it is using the stains as opposed to a heavy amount of ink over top. So the top and the bottom, top and the bottom are the same colors. These are both Speckled Egg, and this is both Uncharted Mariner. Now the middle is different because I didn't have a salty ocean in the spray, so I went with the Prize Ribbon, which is, you know, it's all in the blues, so it's all in those colors. This is like gray blue, a brighter blue, a moodier blue, and I love the color combination, but monochromatics, all blue. That's the whole idea. I'm going to trim these down. I'm going to matte them on black and put them on card bases, and I will do that. Okay, and there we go. So 2 different versions of the same idea, both done in monochromatics. Couple of different things. You don't have to matte. You can just put that as a full panel on a card front. You could even do it directly on a card front if you wanted to, depending on the type of paper you're using. I like a border, and I like that the black ties in with the embossing, and I think it just makes it a little more cohesive. So those are my 2 cards for this month for our monochromatic theme for our YouTube hop. And this is also, as I said earlier, part of the release for Spellbinders, which is the block print Zodiacs. And they have all of the signs throughout the whole year, of course, and they're just fun to play with. Thanks for being here today. I appreciate you and your time and your support on my channel. It means a lot to me. If you haven't already, a thumbs up is always so very appreciated. I would love to have you subscribe, so you can hit that subscribe little button there. And if you do subscribe, you can also ring the notification bell, and it'll let you know the next time that I'm hosting a video. And I do try to do that as a minimum of once a week, but you know, life sometimes happens, and sometimes I do really well and I get 2 out in a week. So, you know, that's a surprise. I think that's everything. As I said, I will have all the links in the description below. I am an affiliate for Spellbinders as well as other companies, so my links are affiliate links, which means that when you shop those links, I do earn a small commission, which just helps support my channel, and it's so very greatly appreciated. I hope this inspired you, that it will get you to try something new, whether it's ink blending or sprays, maybe dig out your distressed products if you haven't used them in a while. That's it for me today. I hope to see you again real soon. Thanks for stopping by, and I hope you also have some time to craft today. Bye.